Hi everyone, I'm Jason Radford, the CEO of Volunteer Science. Today I'm going to show you how to chain experiments. Now, what we're trying to do here is, say you have a Qualtrics survey, and then you have a flanker task, and then you have a multi-person prisoner's dilemma. And you want people to do the survey, and then the flanker task, and then the prisoner's dilemma. Now, one way you could do this is you could put all of those studies into one big study, combine all the code files and rearrange it so that you make sure that everything shows up at the right time. Not that hard, but also not that easy, especially because these are all templates. What I'm going to show you today is an easy way to take your Qualtrics survey, have that run, and then do your flanker task, have that run, and then have your prisoner's dilemma task and have that run, and people just go through it sequentially without having to combine all the code together. So let's get to it. So I'm going to go to my test team down here somewhere. There it is. It's about in the middle of the way. So I have a bunch of experiments here. I'm going to choose a couple at random. This is sort of a live coding demo that there's no code involved. So hang with me. It's not going to be perfect. So these are my experiments, and I'm going to go over to my admin tab where I'll be able to see all my experiments. Here we go. Let's open up my experiments here. Cool. The last thing I'll open up is my experiment page. So given what we have here, what I'm going to show you is just how to go from flanker to Qualtrics and chat to this transition to telework study, which are these three here. So JSON flanker, Qualtrics, and network chat. This one experiment, second experiment, third experiment. What I need to do is I need to add a variable to these experiments that tells Volunteer Science what the next study should be. And that's all I need to do, is add that variable to JSON flanker. And when JSON flanker is over, it's going to send us to this Qualtrics chat tile, which is just this Qualtrics network chat study. And then when Qualtrics and network chat is done, I'll get sent, I tell Volunteer Science, send me to the COVID-19 transition to telework study. So to make this three-step process work, all I need to do is add the variable to JSON flanker and Qualtrics network chat. So let me go ahead and do that. So JSON flanker is here. And go into here. And all I need to do is create a new variable called next underscore experiment. And I think I have some, there we go. I have some pre-written language here. I'm gonna leave it blank for a second. I'll show you why. I'll tell you why in a minute. So I create this variable called next experiment. And you can have whatever description you want. This is just the one that I created for myself. That's most helpful. And this basically says, whatever number is here is the number of the tile that you should send people to next. Now, let me show you what that tile number is. This is JSON flanker experiments here. I want to send people to this tile. So if you look at the bottom left, it'll say experiments join category 524. If I right click and I copy the link address, this is actually not a good example because just the way that I'm recording video won't allow me to show you this, but the whole URL is volunteerscience.com/experiments/join category 524. All I need is that 524. Save it. And now anytime this experiment's finished, it's going to go to tile 524, which is this one. Now, I may be using JSON flanker for a number of different experiments, so I'm actually going to leave that blank for now. I'll show you why in a second. Let me just go to Qualtrics and network chat to do the same thing. Qualtrics and network chat. Great. Manage variables. Add new variable. Next experiment. And it has to be next underscore experiment, all lowercase. And you may see there's also a next experiment AMT. I won't get into that too much, but there is a way of doing this with Turker so that Turker goes from the survey to the flanker task to the Qualtrics chat. I'll show you what that value is supposed to be. It works the exact same way. It's just that you can't use this tile number. You have to create a separate hit. But like I say, I'll give you an example of that. So next experiment, AMT, here's the same description. And again, I'm just going to leave it blank for now. So great. So I have those created. I'm going to go back here. And so what I want to do is I want to modify the variable so that this particular version of JSON Flanker, when that one ends, I send it to Qualtrics to chat. So I may have to refresh this page. Yeah. Let me refresh the page so it updates the list of variables that are available for that experiment. Give it a second. There's next experiment. Create modify variable button. All right. So this is where I want to add in the 524. 524. Update. So now, when I finish this Flanker task, I'm going to go straight into the Qualtrics and chat. This is actually a demo study for another demo, so I'm going to delete this before this is over. I don't want other folks trying this out and getting confused. The other thing, I call it next experiment AMT. So let me fix that. I wasn't paying attention. You're supposed to tell me these things. Okay, next experiment. All right. I have to refresh again now. Refresh this page, update the variable names. Reopen JSON test. And there's next experiment. Modify variable. So now when the Qualtrics and network chat are done, I can go to the telework site. So this is join category 579. So 579. Update. Cool. So now this is all you have to do. Next experiment set for a flanker, the network and chat. And so you can send participants to this study. When this study is over, they automatically get forwarded to this study, this Qualtrics and chat. And then when Qualtrics and chat is done, they get sent to COVID-19 transition to telework study in this example. I'm going to show you two things. For the next experiment AMT, the exact same deal, except instead of 524, you have to create, first of all, you have to create hits for each of these studies. So, there we go. So I have to, make AMT hit, make AMT hit, make AMT hit. I'll create 3 hits. What I won't do is I won't make the Qualtrics and chat or the COVID-19 transition to telework study hits live. I'll keep them as unactivated, but I'll create them. And each hit gets a unique ID. So let me show you what that looks like using one of our old hit IDs. It will take a second because of the number of hits that we have. We do live queries of the Mechanical Turk database for your hits as they're loaded. We don't store it in our database. So let me go to some of our sandbox. So when you create the hit, you'll see it. You'll get your own table. This is one from back in 2015. Click the edit button so I can see that hit, the hit ID number. So this is the number that you would want to put. You create a hit, you open it up, you look for that game ID, and of course I closed the thing. What you would do, 527, no, 574, no, okay. you would do this. This would be next underscore experiment underscore AMT. And then you would have that AMT unique, the hit code, basically, update, and you're done. That's how that works. The last thing I want to show you is that you can actually change the next experiment value in the experiment itself. So say you have your Flickr task and you want to send it to different versions of the Qualtrics and chat, depending on whether somebody is, say your Flickr task is testing whether somebody is a strong, let's say it's a lexical decision task, and you're trying to have people categorize English and French words, and that's sort of your way of testing how good at French and English they are. And so somebody who scores high on that task, would be an expert or at least an acquainted French speaker. You would want to send those people to a French-speaking chat. What you can do is you can, instead of hard coding it here, I'm just gonna keep it blank here. Definitely want to keep it blank once you have it here. You can go into your study, and I'm just going to create this as an example. Oh, here we go. Where's experiment? That's called way down here at 87. Okay, so let's do something else. All right, just as an example. So anywhere in your script where you need it to be called, so if you're randomizing somewhere at the end of the study, or if you in this example, a linguistic lexical decision task, you know at the end whether somebody is proficient in French or not. Again, I'm using this as a very hypothetical example. So at the end of the study, when you know whether somebody's acquainted with French or not acquainted with French, you'd say variables next underscore experiment. You can say the French version is 589. I'm making up a number there. So if score equals French, again, completely making this up. If score equals French, variables is this. Else we're going to do the English version, which again, going to make up a number. It's 599 because there's A and there's B. So that's how you change the next experiment variable in a particular study. So as the result of the study, you want to set next experiment to 595, or 598, or 599. That's how you do it. Okay, this covers everything that we wanted to do. If you have any questions about chaining experiments or about anything else on volunteer science, please let me know. You can send us an email at support@volunteerscience.com. Thank you so much.